We thought Riven was the last known Ahamkara, but in this time-worn, shrouded fortress, we might just be hunting down the 15th wish after all. Community sentiment is low, and the stakes are high, so it's a good thing that this dungeon will blow your mind. Move away from all of the criticism of the game for 1 second, and show this to a friend who asks you what Destiny is all about. Show them Warlords Ruin. Because Bungie wants me to sit in a ship flying to the dungeon, we're going to take the time to talk about stars trekking. You are such a good commander that you found a wish dragon centuries after it was supposed to be dead. You open up your phone and you're in a whole new world, open, inviting the new you to explore. This game isn't free to try, it's free to play, with stunning visuals that will make you go, wow, this reminds me of Destiny. You have a thriving community with battles all around the world. Look, even Shax is playing it.
Delightful!
Star Trek has a new Kelvin timeline exploring alternative dimensions and storylines. This December, Star Trek will be adding new officers, new missions, and a new feature called Wave Defense. And if we know anything about Warlords Ruin, Kelvin might be the only measurement that works. You can use code WARSPEED as it's giving out a new player content pack for free. The pack grants you 10 epic shards of Kirk. You can download Star Trek Command Fleet using the link in the description. Once in game, go to your player profile, open settings, choose general, and scroll down to the very end to sign up. Special thanks to Star Trek Fleet Command, and enjoy your time from orbit. With a season focused around dragons and wishes, you'd have to make a dungeon in a fantasy medieval time aesthetic. When I tell you that Warlords Ruin is the most dungeon that has ever been done, Jen, you don't even need to look further than its introduction. Rise of Iron and the Iron Lords, long forgotten to players, forgotten about even by Bungie in the eyes of fans, now has a reason to explore more of its history. Will Siva be found? Will another dragon like Riven be slain? It all started in these ruins of a lord's castle.
All right, let's get it, baby. Ooh, this dynamic weather system one. What is this, D3?
There's a secret chest.
Over here. I mean.
What? No! Oh!
Yes, mimics from D&D, and of course, Dark Souls, sent the armies of Glorbo to kill anyone who opens these chests in the dungeon. One random discovery is that you can actually jump and even burst glide in the state of being knocked down. Another is that these chests are only mimics when they glow. If they don't glow, chances are you'll get loot. I hope this stays in the game. One thing you should know about the dungeon is that there is bound to be traps around every corner, but it's probably a good thing then that you can experiment with some early. Well done. The first thing you should notice if you're into the story is the House of Kings banners hanging around the castle. We haven't seen these fallen really in any sort of power since the House of Wolves, but clearly something happened to this place that it became incredibly overrun by Scorn. So much that our first boss is just outside of the walls.
I see a boss. His name is Rathil, the first broken knight of Fikrul.
Yeah, this is kind of like a, like a Dark Souls vibe, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Going on. Oh, hello. I'm up in a cage.
We're trapped. I can't seem to break it. Oh, there's the eyes, blighted eyes.
I shot one. Oh, yeah, there you go. Does that let you out of the cage? Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, let's
okay,
get out of the cage. Okay,
okay.
nice. That's kind of funny.
You don't get out of the cage.
Oh, I'm in a cage! Oh, I'm in a cage! I did just say there were 3 cages. It was a little too convenient, I think. Oh, it's going higher! Oh. How do we get out? How do we get? There's probably a way to get out. Oh, wait, did we die? Oh.
This encounter is pretty great as an introduction. It's not difficult, but it provides the dungeon's mechanic. And if we know the formula of dungeons, there's going to be an intro, there's going to be 2 bosses, and 1 to 2 non-boss rooms with platforming scattered about. So this was also a nice surprise, as it's been a while since a dungeon started with a boss fight. Mechanics-wise, this was a pretty easy fight. Get trapped in the hanging cages, shoot acolyte eyes all around you to break free, and then capture these zones dropped by the Scorn Ravagers to extend the damage window. See, that's the thing. This dungeon pretty much allows you to be as optimal as you want to be for your fights. Once the imminent wish timer ends, your empowerment is extended based on how many of these zones you were able to capture. But let's be real, Rathil never stood a chance. So much so that players are using Navigator 1-2 Punch and of course the banner of War to one-phase this boss solo. Hey, was that a fleshlight?
Ooh, what is that? Look.
It's an Ahamkaras. We're in jail.
I'm in jail.
What was that?
This was either over in 2 minutes or 2 hours. Was the way up through the ceiling, or was it to slip through these bars?
You're in my cell. Might as well finish her it.
Oh.
Aw. Did I get out?
Yes, you did.
No way.
For me, I was in the one cell that didn't have a hint, but I can tell you that we spent so long trying to mess with these dials and a lever that I was driven to the brink of madness. Just like my skeleton friends. There has to be like some sort of indicator of an order. They always leave an indicator of an order.
I would agree with that, Evan. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Trying to see if there's like anything that would let you know if like they need to be spinning in certain directions. Do you really?
Yeah,
I don't have one in my cell. I have one.
I've got like a tally in mine as well. Like
I have one that was like drawing or something before he ended up passing away, and then I have another guy that probably sat just contemplating all the mistakes he made in life.
2 hours later.
And this one is counterclockwise. See me, listen, man.
No, I don't. Okay, just tell me what I need. All right, so okay, so does that mean that this is going clockwise because it's like this? The candy cane's going like.
It's whatever you're looking at. Whatever you're.
Brother.
well, when you
okay.
say the candy cane's turn clockwise, what the f does that mean?
Evan,
your door. This one.
Many hours later.
Chains hanging from the ceiling. I have a
This
vent
might
that.
be so curved, but do you guys have like tallies around you? I feel like this tally's gonna mean something. It can't be just. I've got
the bars are cope.
Wait, which thing? What thing did you say, Pantho? What did you say?
Tally.
You said tally.
Tally.
Wait. Huh? Where is that? I do not have that.
This is gonna happen now.
Is it ready?
And now maybe do the lever, maybe? I don't know.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Secrets, man.
Bro.
Is there none
So it was. Wait. So literally.
There's a tally right here.
Where?
There's a 1 right here. There's a 1 right
That's
there. Hold
that's
on,
not a
we're
1.
running tallies.
That's a 1,
Tally, yes.
bro. Then which one does Evan have?
I don't have
I'll-
any tallies.
I don't know why y'all are screaming at me. I just figured it out.
On CB and Pantho's side, there was tally marks. One had a random number between 1 and 5, and the other one had the remaining number. Now, if only we had looked around the room, we would have been done. Shoot them once to get them to go in one direction, stop them, and shoot them again to get them going the other direction. Use these to break free from the cells and end the edging of your loot. I think it's safe to say a lot of people really love this section, but I also saw a lot of people online say that they quit the dungeon after they couldn't figure out how to get out of the cell. Bungie has been throwing so many twists so far, and it was only going to get more interesting from here. See, to escape the dungeon, you would need to be free of some traps. You might think these doors were the key, but we'll return to those later. For now, I think you should take in the scenery. As you ascend this castle, it's best to look out to the place which you began. It's never not an amazing feat seeing the visual representation of your journey. The same excitement climbing to the top of Sen's fortress and looking back on Undead Burg with Dark Souls can be felt climbing to the top of Destiny's version of the Dreisendracht castle. But this time, it's of an Iron Lord. Bungie really wanted you to know that this was an Iron Lord's castle, as the music might sound a little familiar. On your way up, you meet the Flesh boss that sent you to the dungeon inside of a dungeon. While I'm in my own editing dungeon, editing a video about being inside of a dungeon. You need to ascend and watch out for those falling platforms of snow. Now, just like Hyrule Castle, the main entrance is not going to work to break in. Instead, a sewer drain might be your best bet. Ascend the House of King's scorn-ridden castle and meet your next boss. Pretty sure this is like an ad clear section by section encounter.
It is a boss.
That looks like
I
a boss.
literally have a sword on.
Locus of Wailing. Bungie threw a wild card at every player. See, the formula with all dungeons has been 2 bosses and at least 1 non-boss encounter with a gimmick to it. The Unlocked Room and Shattered Throne. Pit had 3 of these non-boss encounters. Prophecy had Cube Room and Sparrows. Grasp was all about bombs and sparrows. Duality was about mini-bosses and a mine vault. Spire was pew 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 Old West target wires. Ghost of the Deep was water, whales, and hive. And now, for the first time in a dungeon, we have at least 3 bosses. Cause I know that flesh excuse me. For the Locus of Wailing Grief, a great metal band, might I say, the goal was fairly straightforward. Kill the enemies, wait for the Scorn Chieftains to spawn, then kill them and capture the zones. The twist here is when the Scorn come to fight, so too does the Winter Cold. A ferocious blizzard makes its way through the arena, and there's only one way to prevent yourself from freezing to death. Torches on the outside of the arena keep you warm. A nice nod to using fire to keep your axe from going cold in Rise of Iron. Once zones were captured, orbs spawned to bank in larger hubs of fire. 4 total. The Locus of Grief would pass by each, so you had to be particular about how you move through them. One detail I love about this boss is that he's wearing a taken form of the Fogoth gauntlets. Now Bungie, you have an opportunity here with those gauntlets. Are you gonna take it? What I also love is that you can maximize your runs by shooting all of the acolytes in the arena, speeding up the encounter and making it so the chieftains spawn in much quicker. It's also a great hint for an encounter later into the dungeon and some good foreshadowing. What I also love is that you can maximize your runs by waiting for chieftains to spawn a capture zone to get all 4 orbs to drop at once instead of doing 2 rounds, making time not an issue on this. But you know how the Destiny community goes. This ogre, while a welcome fight, stood no chance.
Right?
Top left.
Yeah, next.
Or no, wait. Oh, it's a different
Top
order
right,
every
top
time.
right, top right, top right.
Okay, top right.
I'm throwing a grenade for debuff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna brace for him. I don't have ammo.
I don't know if I hit.
He's debuffed. He's debuffed. Fine.
He should be dead.
Yeah, he is.
Nice. Elise. Follow the whisper.
Unfortunately for solo players, this ogre sometimes can be too much of a fight. The climb to the summit, something Destiny 1 veterans are very familiar with. But this time, instead of a skeleton and a Siva cluster, we have a fight to the death with a taken chimera. Meet Hefnd's Vengeance.
Oh, there's a blight in the middle. Yeah. Oh, the fishy.
Yeah, dude, it's probably gonna be the same. Similar.
Yeah, see the little plate for the flame orbs as well.
Oh, there he is. Okay, so it is the plot hole, dude. Plot hole has a shield.
This encounter is everything you could want. You have twisting level design with the intensity ramped up, objectives that are still optional, and some new tricks up their sleeve. It's Shurochi. It's the Caretaker. It's its own new addition to iconic encounters. And it has some of the best level design. After shooting the Acolyte eyes around the boss and trying not to get penetrated by the purple orbs, you have the Scorn Chieftains again, this time with immune wraiths trying to 1v1 you.
Is that what it is? You gotta like get rid of the hex on the guys.
Don't let them hit you. Don't let them hit you. They can give it back.
That's what it is. You gotta give it to them when the hex goes off, and then the hex kills them. That's what it is. Okay.
Wait,
now
what?
we know. You punch them to transfer the hex,
I
and then it's
punched
tag.
them and I got rid of it and then I give them back. I don't know.
You have to punch the wraiths without Taken to transfer the Taken curse to them. Because once the timer hits 0, one of you has to die!
I can smell it on you. The box get tender.
After all totems have been cleansed as well, damage can begin in short bursts, with enemies from all angles still shooting at you. It's incredibly chaotic. The arena then shifts once you hit the damage check, and you need to ascend and ascend until you hit the final check. Then you can begin the real damage. What I love about this is the amount of freedom the DPS window allows for. Not only can you get a timer extension, but this applies to the main DPS fight, where you can shoot the Acolyte eyes to extend the damage, and sometimes Kovacs would be needed. I haven't seen a single person mention that this is also a nod to Riven, as the eyes have 5 on each side and in order looking kind of familiar. I wonder how long someone could theoretically max out the Acolyte eyes before they go immune. And just like all great final bosses, this one was damn difficult, but eventually he had to go down.
Kill him. Nice. Fucking go, boys. Good fucking shit, dude. That was so good.
Finish him!
Fuck him up, fuck him up. Fuck him up, fuck him up.
Ah! Nice. Joe, you fell off too?
Don't die.
Yo, you're the last one alive.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got him, please. Oh, the exotic!
He actually got it? That's crazy.
Sidearm.
It's a sidearm.
But not without dropping something else. See, Hefend dropped the beginning stages of a quest that would span quite a few runs before seeing it through. And for those who got lucky, this boss also dropped a brand new exotic sidearm crossbow rocket pistol, a brand new archetype to Destiny found in the end game dungeon. But more on the loot a little bit later. We need to talk about what the hell the story was in this dungeon. And I'll keep it short since there is a lot of audio that I think you should go and listen for yourself. So, we are back. But this time we have the ability to open those doors around the dungeon. Bungie really gave people a reason to keep coming back, as the story is one thing, but by the end of the quest, you might like the outcome. You needed a bunch of materials you would get by completing the dungeon, but also by finding loot screens hidden around the dungeon that, well, they had some fun physics to them. That's the thing. You need to progress the quest to open more doors, which is a win for some and not so much for others, but I personally like it a lot. This is my interpretation of the story. Even if Petra and Crow do tell it, I want to leave room for people to have some theories in the comments. This tells the story of the Taken feeding off of the bones of an Ahamkara, as they were likely lured to it. But the only thing powerful enough to lure them would be another Ahamkara. Petra talks about the Ahamkara being beautiful but venomous creatures, and adding that there were deeper politics of the great hunt of the Ahamkara ages ago than just exterminating them because dragons are bad. Nodding to the fact that there's exotics made from their bones, which should get a buff in the dungeon. Hello, Bungie, you're missing a golden opportunity. Crow suggests that there might be an Ahamkara that lived there after the hunt.
There was this warlord in the Dark Age named,
don't start.
Naeem. She drank with a warlord who'd felled a shape-shifting beast. He led her to the beast's lair, a castle in snowy peaks. Inside was a skull that whispered promises. I always thought Saladin was just blowing smoke.
You found your people. Guardians do love their myths and stories.
Bungie is also laying their tracks for the fanfic to... What? That doesn't say fanfic, that says fanatic. To come back to plot in some ways. As we know, that boy can't really die, and he did consider Aldrin his father. So basically Crow left for some milk and doesn't want to come back. Crow also suggests that Naeem and the Ahamkara Hefend were friends.
Pretty tragic, actually. Saladin said their bond was like a mutual domestication. But it wasn't long before the House of Kings stormed the castle.
When the kings came, I take it Naeem didn't survive them?
No. And in her final breath, she wished ruin on their house. That her vengeance follow them into the grave. Very particular wording.
So her final wish was to have Hefend kill and haunt those House of Kings into their graves, aka the Scorn. What's interesting is that Naeem used tribute from all surrounding villages to Hefend, so that Hefend could become stronger and protect the villages all around. But this, unfortunately, attracted the House of Kings to attack. This part of the story ends with Fikrul being mentioned more, which tells me he will once again rule the Scorn in the final shape. This side plot ends with this line.
This all feels personal. Aldrin links to the Kings, both linked to Fikrul. My one dangling thread.
Step back from yourself. New Scorn Rising drew Fikrul's attention, King's no less. What if this was a diplomatic envoy? The Witnesses' Scorn are empty flesh-made weapons, but the Scorn here appear to express crude culture.
Fikrul's followers have always been different, capable of learning. Maybe he saw that potential here.
Then maybe you can still get through to him.
This has to be the castle from Saladin's story. The Scorn have to be kings. It's the only thing that makes sense. Hefend was buried here since the Dark Age, but the instant he could, he lured the Taken in. Poisoned himself, feeding off their ties for the darkness, their want. He found a loophole to raise the kings into scorn and enact his friend's dying wish for revenge.
Holding on to that anger for what? Centuries? Just to destroy itself with taking corruption. Of course. Vengeance is an Ouroboros, and everything cyclical is doomed to destroy itself eventually.
Guys, I gotta say, the fleshlight is pretty metal for that one. So many people will not see what I'm about to show you because it's the very end of a very long quest for all of the dialogue. But it's probably one of the best monologues I've ever heard in Destiny, and I think it would be an injustice for you to not listen.
Something is different about this one.
And so, the Great Hunt claims the life of another Ahamkara. You slew me 14 times, Wish Dragon. I landed a killing blow only once. Hardly seems fair. They say that to draw a weapon against one of your kind is to wish for victory. Even if the beast is slain, the wish is granted. The dragon wins either way. Perhaps that's why they send me on these hunts. Because I do not wish to do this. The Ahamkara are a force of nature. To blame you for an ill-conceived wish is like blaming fire for burning down a house. And yet, when a fire rages out of control, it must be extinguished. There is no joy or ambition in it. Only the knowledge that it must be done. Rest well, dragon. Let this castle be your tomb, one befitting a creature of your stature. That is the closest thing to a wish you'll get from me.
This is the end of the quest, but it's also the end of where you get the exotic catalyst. And at least as of recording this the first time, nobody has figured out what's going on with the Scorn and those capture zones throughout the dungeon. There could be more to this, so I'll keep you posted if something changes. The loot in this dungeon is not to be trifled with either. Yes, the rapid fire strand sniper and the caster frame strand sword are questionable at the moment since these archetypes they exist. But the bow can get some nice perk combinations, and the legendary sidearm is a special ammo rocket pistol with some nutty perks to it. You know those nutty perks. Blow up the room, but it's blue, and reload really good. There's also the exotic sidearm, which I think will have a place in the game in general, giving Devour for every subclass. But the catalyst makes this one even nuttier, granting weakening in a special ammo slot for a debuff. This could mean 15%, which would be on par with others, or it could be the crispy 30% debuff, making it a special ammo tractor cannon. The armor isn't the Witcher levels of cool that Eververse has, nor is it the Season Pass Ahamkara armor, but I think it looks pretty sweet overall, and it fits the theme better than Hake armor dropping from the Duality dungeon about a year ago. While that Season's Pass armor looked like this. These combined with the new environment and the breaking the mold of encounters shows me that Bungie has the magic in the tank, and no matter what the business side or higher ups say, there are teams within the company that want this game to succeed at all costs. You might not want to play the game. You might not play the game at all, and my videos are a way of catching up on everything. But I'm telling you, it sucks that this dungeon came out in the height of Bungie's darkest era, because it is a masterpiece, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So, in 2024, I will be covering the era of Bungie's before, the infancy of their most important IPs, and even before 2024, the Destiny Killers, baby, it's releasing soon. And if you're watching this, I'm probably live right now on Twitch. You should click the link in the description and catch me on my stream, where soon enough after this video, I will be solo flawlessing the dungeon, but every time I die, I will buy something from your Steam wishlist. So make sure you're there. Enjoy some bloopers. Thank you guys.
Oh, the chicken.
Oh no.
Oh, he dead as hell.
Oh shit, he dead.
Dead as hell. Oh shit.
Wait.
Oh, he's good.
There's no way. Oh wait.
Oh, he's dead as hell. Oh.
Wait. No, he good.
Wait.
There's no way. There's no fucking way.
boss go? What? Where did he go?